Here I have the two units, and as you can see, obviously this one is half the size of the Sigma, and it's also half the weight, 60 grams compared to 125 grams. So that's just to start off with. What's up everybody, and welcome back to another vlog. And today's vlog will be all about the Sigma ROX 12.0, and I've got another unit here today, the Wahoo Element Bolt. I've got it here to give you some comparison about the user friendliness about it, how realistic it is, but at the end of the day it's all about what do you want. Do you want a minimalistic experience? Do you want everything that a unit can offer? Okay, so just a point to make off of the bat as we start this review. What has really impressed me about the Sigma is the fact that it has features which you can actually use, and what is more important for me about this unit is that the user interface and the touchscreen pad is so good that you can actually get to those features quite quickly and actually put them onto your page or add them during your ride, which is really fast and user friendly. So you don't need to go study a IT degree to find these features and try to put them on the pages. Sigma have really done this really well. Hats off to them. The Wi-Fi is super fast, so whenever I walk into my house after a ride, if the unit is still on, it will automatically, like your phone, just connect to the internet and upload your files to Strava, Training Peaks, Komoot, or whatever app you are using. And sometimes you're in the bunch and you search for sensors and it searches for all the sensors. It doesn't give you the option to search for a specific sensor like your heart rate. And if you can remember what the number is on your power meter, which I would recommend if you've got a unit like this, is you could just go search specifically for power sensor and enter the number, and you'll be connected straight away with your power meter. So it won't pick up the other 100 people that are with you in the peloton. Yeah, that's, for me, it's pretty important because that can be a whole race file wasted. And like I said, you can also just go search specifically for other units. We know that Sigma is in collaboration with a rotor, so it has an extra function if you have a rotor power meter, which gives you some extra data and shows you how to put your oval rings in what position for your pedal strokes. That's also pretty cool for the users out there that have a rotor power meter. Okay, anyway, so let's get to the nitty-gritty detail of this unit. Okay, so let's turn on the Sigma ROX 12.0. But anyway, let's stick to the basics and the most important stuff that I as a professional cyclist look at when I have a new unit, and which is important for me, and that makes my training easy. So as you can see, we've got two side buttons to start off with. On the right, on the left, you've got a side button here, which you can toggle through pages if you want to lock the touchscreen. So the power button at the top here, we can press slightly. As you can see, that just turns off the unit on and off. This I really like because I can just press this button here and it saves a lot of battery life. As well, you can put off a lot of other settings here to save battery life as well, but we'll get to that later. Okay, so as you can see here, if I go into sport profiles, I have my sport profiles here. Every sport profile
represent something different. So you can, let's say for example, on your indoor sessions, you want different information on the pages here. You won't necessarily want a map or altitude graph, which is only necessary for races. So that won't necessarily be on your indoor session pages or profile. So you can set up your training profiles accordingly. So I'm going to go into sport profiles again. There's one for mountain bike. Maybe just if you touring through the city, you can just use the normal cycling profile or racing profile, and then in your racing profile you can add all the stuff you want. So this is specifically set up for me. I've got speed here, training time, distance, speed, altitude. I've got a graph after I export a race file. I can see the graph, what is coming up. I've got power here, I don't really look at power in the races too much. Maybe on a long climb, if I'm in the breakaways, I might look at it, but not when I'm in the peloton. Obviously you need to push it hard as the peloton's going, so looking at your power won't help you. I've got my heart rate here, and my heart rate also I don't really look at, but it's just here, so I can see if my heart rate strap is picking up and the power, because this information needs to get to your coaches. So yeah, that's a basic race profile that I have, but you might want to add something different. And what you can do is you can go here and you can edit your sport profile name, and just call it whatever you want. Another great feature is while I'm racing is I can just hold my finger on here. So that was on the speed thing, and I can quickly scroll if I want something different. The training time, or you don't want this graph here, hold your finger in and you can go select something else to add there. So that's pretty cool, user friendly and quick, and that's important for me because I want to be able to quickly use this unit. We have enough electronic devices and stuff in life, and we don't want to waste any more time on an electronic device. So I'm just going to click back there, simple exit button, really like that. Okay, so here's the tracks. So whenever, here you can see I've got stage 5, 4 and 3 of Volta Andalusia or Route de Sud. So as you can see here, I imported these files from my laptop using a USB-C port. As I click on the profile, there you can see the routes I have, and I can just select. I can also zoom in like this, or use the interface buttons here to zoom in and out. And this middle button we have all seen on GPS units will just take you back to the bigger picture of the map. So yeah, I can see this is a route. I can also see if it's a correct route, because sometimes you get the wrong GPX files and it starts on a completely different place. So this is really user friendly and helps me quickly navigate before stages to see which direction we're heading, and also to see which direction the wind will be coming from. So for example, if the wind's coming from the coast, I also know without my director telling me that I can just zoom in and know that in these sections in the race, the wind will be coming from the left. So that's pretty cool. That's with tracks. So let's go into navigation. So this is what really makes this unit special. As you can see, the touchscreen doesn't have any lag, super quick. So I can simply go into address, city, and let's say Soldeo. So this is where we're staying. Click there, enter street name, and it will show me a point on the map. So I'm just going to go out here. So that's if you want to put in an address. So next, draw my route. So this is my most favorite option on this Sigma unit. So let me tell you why. This is Andorra. As you can see, the white lines there, it's pretty small. As you can see, the white lines there, it's pretty small. So I'm going to click on the draw button, and I'm going to draw a circle here. So this is a popular route, 150 k's more or less, that we like taking. So as you can see, there it has created the route for me by just drawing with my finger. And then I can zoom into that and I can see, okay, yeah, that looks fine. And it has created a route for you. Sometimes you might have to draw that twice because it can take you onto a gravel road sometimes, but depends on how you set that. So there I can just click start. I'm going to go back, say that again. And another thing to remember is when you draw your route, which makes this app really cool, is that once you say start, you can say suggested route, easiest route, and shortest route. Easiest route will obviously be with less climbing and which is fastest. Suggested is what most people try, and shortest will probably be the most hilliest if you think logically about it. Okay. Otherwise, you could just use the point on map. It's got this little X mark, as you can see there, and you can just drag to where you want to go, click select, and it will take you there. Like I say, you go in activities. These are all indoor because we're in quarantine, but I can go to past activities, click on them. This GPS will take me to the starting point and show me how to do them again. Okay, so this is also a pretty cool feature. I'm going to go here. So as you can see, I've got Strava, Komoot, Training Peaks, and Dropbox connected. So you might think, why do I have all these things connected? Well, for Strava is for the people out there that want to see our rides, and we compare and we see if you want to take the odd Strava comp. Training Peaks is for my coach, obviously the most important connection on this unit. And Dropbox. So let's say your Strava gets hacked and your Training Peaks get hacked. What would be nice is that you'll have a backup file. We all know Dropbox. It just saves the file on there automatically, so that's pretty cool. And Komoot for the people that do more trail running or off-road, and that's more important if you want to use that feature. Is connect sensors. I could just say search all sensors, and then I can go select specific sensors. So in this case, I can just go look for speed, cadence, heart rate, power sensor. Like I mentioned, Rotor is in collaboration with Sigma. So if you go in there, search for a rotor power unit, you will be able to pick up your rotor power unit. And what they've done is they've shown you for your specific pedal stroke and power, how in which direction to set your oval rings. So for example, you can search a sensor, select Shimano, select your wireless sensors of your shifters. And what you can do here is go into that sensor. You can obviously just connect it properly. It will show connecting right now. And what you can do then is you can do a remote setup if you want on the left or the right shifter, like here. And you can see a single click, double click. So you can change all those stuff on here, which is pretty cool and handy. Trust me, you might use it. And yeah, I can also see the battery life of the unit, which is really important because you have to know if you have to charge your unit. You don't only go out there on your group ride and then your shifters and your front derailleur or rear derailleur is completely flat. When I'm in a race, I can go look for a specific sensor. I can enter the sensor detail, -8011, for example. I'm just going to go back there, or you can just, or it will show you all the power sensors in your location. So it's pretty cool. Another thing, if you're, for whatever reason, you want to go to your activities in your memory page, you can go look at all of them. You can select them and look at the summaries of them, so you don't have to always look on a computer or any other unit like that. You can also look at your calendar. If you imported all your training files here, you can go ahead and look at what's coming up. It's going to settings here. Another thing I want to show you is the Wi-Fi. So look how many Wi-Fi options it picks up. It has no problem connecting. So even though you can just set up a hotspot on your phone, so this has internet, and upload your files that way, or you can just connect it with the home Wi-Fi, and that's pretty easy. Like I say, the Wi-Fi is really, really good and has no connection problems. This is easy firmware. It will tell you if there is an update. As you can see, my unit is up to date. The user, just your weight, height, all those things you can just put in there. No, I don't want to reset, but this is always a handy feature in case you have to reset your unit for whatever reason. Okay, so as I hold my finger in there, I can scroll through which pages I want to add. But what I want to get into is the fact that, for example, here I've got Strava. So if your Strava is connected, it can show you Strava live segments, which is pretty cool. So another really fun, important feature is when you go on your sport profiles, I'll select my race profile, and then it will give you the options what that sport profile does. So this is not going into that sport profile, and which is pretty cool. I can put the auto pause, auto lap in that specific sport profile, so you can really customize your sport profiles really well. we can look at the training view. This gives it how many pages I have in that sports profile. So that's pretty cool. And you can add how many fields you want in each sports profile, and you can just go select what you want in each of them. So one thing that I like here, if you go in alerts, a drinking alert. So I like using this because it reminds me every 5 minutes to drink. So I can put that on. It can be based on distance, time, or calories. So every time you burn X amount of calories or pass X amount of time or distance, the drinking alert will pop up. That's really, really cool. And then you can make an eating alert, which is here. You can put that on, or you can make your own custom alert. Whatever, every 5 or 10 or 20 or 30 minutes or 20 kilometers, it will remind you to think of something. So you can see you can put on more than one alert. So here is a side-by-side comparison. The Wow Element Bold I used with Team Katusha Alpes in 2018, 2019. It's 60 grams. This unit is 125 grams. As you can see, the design, they're quite different. This cover you can also change and customize whatever color you want. Yellow, blue, I don't know what colors they have, but that's really okay. Another thing you have to consider is that this is a big unit. So this bracket, possibly it hasn't happened to me, but because it's much bigger, almost like the Garmin 1000, you have to think over, if you ride over a lot of cobbles like we do, this thing can possibly break, but you put on the safety rope for in case it happens. Especially when you are investing a lot of money in these units. Another thing is that it is touchscreen, so you have to remember these touchscreen units, most of them, the bigger they are, the more advanced they are, the screens tend to sometimes, if this unit falls, the screen will obviously break much easier than on a small unit like the Wow Element Bold or other smaller units. Another thing to consider is that because it's using Android software, so you can simply use a USB-C cable in here and connect that straight into your computer. No applications needed, and it will connect, and you can copy or download files or copy routes, whichever way you like. You can also connect it to Strava and use old Strava routes, and it will import automatically without having to use a cable. This is simply some storage which you can use as well. Remember, with this, it does have maps, and you can go to map management, select which maps you want to update, so you always stay up to date with the newest maps. And it has maps you don't have to pay for anything. So let's go to Europe. Here you can see Andorra. I can remove the maps if I want more space, which is not necessarily needed, and I can go update all the maps of each country, and it is added on this unit. Okay guys, so I just used the smaller non-touchscreen basic unit to give you idea of what you're letting yourself in for. If you want to use extra bucks, use a bigger unit. Personally, I've got a lot of electronics, and when I get onto the bike, I just want not to have a difficult user interface. I just want to be able to quickly click what data I want, just put it on the bike and leave the unit. I don't want to touch the unit all the time, and the easy interface on the Sigma really makes that easy, which means I have to focus less time trying to change pages or looking at data, whatever, when I'm out on the road. So I know you're going to say I'm saying all of this stuff because we're sponsored by them, but in all honesty, in the last 10 years that I've been having used a lot of units, this unit is really at the top, especially because it's so user friendly. So I can really recommend it, but I can't promise you it's not going to break when it falls. I can't promise you if it rains it's gonna be 100% waterproof, because we've seen that with the best units out there. Some units, some guys have no problems for 2 years, and other guys get 3 units, whether it be Wahoo, Garmin or Sigma. They get 3 units and it all breaks within 3 months because of water damage or whatever technical fault it gets. So you have to remember that with electronics, the stuff breaks and there can be no promises. Once again, thanks for joining the vlog, the video, and this review. And if you really enjoy the content, please remember to subscribe, like, comment, share, whatever.
and see you soon.